While you're scared to look at your portfolio, someone spent 1.25 billion buying XRP. Not one person, institutions, funds, professional investors with analysts, research teams, and billions under management. They bought XRP on the same days the price was dropping through a war, through extreme fear, through everything. And here's what I need you to understand. They are not smarter than you. They just know something most retail investors never figure out until it's too late. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what they know. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at this moment completely different than when you walked in. Now, I'm Camila Stevenson, and I want you to know around here, we talk wealth. And a quick note before we get in, nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm just educating you and sharing my perspective and my own experience. Always do your own research. Now, go ahead and like the video for me. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps to add to the page and my channel. And then subscribe if you have not already. A lot of you still haven't subscribed, even though you watch every video. So do me that favor and subscribe. And also tell me in the comments, what is the number one cryptocurrency that you're currently holding? Now let's get into it. I want to start with a fact because I think once you hear this, you're going to understand why I made this video. XRP spot ETFs have pulled in 1.2 billion inflows in 2026, while the price has dropped 27% at the same time. Bitcoin ETFs, net outflows. Ethereum ETFs, net outflows. XRP ETFs, 43 consecutive days without a single redemption. Not one day where more money left than came in. Let me say that a different way. The people managing serious institutional money, like pension funds, asset managers, professional allocators, chose XRP as the one crypto they kept buying while everything else was bleeding. This is including while the war headlines were breaking and while fear was at its highest. So the question is not whether XRP is worth holding. The question is, why do you know less about your own investment than the institutions buying it? And I say that with a lot of love because most people never get taught this. They buy an asset, they watch the price, and they make decisions based entirely on how the number makes them feel. If it goes up, then they feel relieved. If it goes down, then they panic. And that emotional cycle is exactly what transfers wealth from retail investors to institutional ones. Here's what those institutions are actually looking at. And it's not the daily candle. They are watching supply. Right now, 1.25 billion in ETF inflows has quietly removed over 800 million XRP from the tradable market. That XRP is locked in institutional custody. It's not coming back to the exchanges. It's gone from the available supply. Think about what that means over time. Every month that inflows continue, more XRP disappears from the float. That means there's less available supply, but same or growing demand. And at some point, those two things meet and the price reflects it. They're not buying because XRP is going up right now. They're buying because they believe in where it's going. And they are using your fear to get a better price. Now, I'm interested to know, is your XRP up or down? Because that all depends on the price that you bought it at. And I kind of want to measure where everybody is at. Now, I do want to further talk about the relationship between your fear and institutional opportunity. And hopefully you're not the person with the fear. But if you are, I'm talking to you. Now, here's how this works. When war breaks out and oil spikes and markets get choppy, two things happen at the same time. Retail investors get scared and they start selling, and institutional investors get excited because prices just got cheaper. I know that's me as well. I get excited when the charts go down. Now, they're not reacting to the same headlines differently because they have better information. They're reacting differently because they are playing a completely different game. Retail is playing a daily game. Open the app, check the price, feel something, and then make a decision based on that feeling. Institutions are playing a multi-year game. They have an investment thesis, they have a time horizon, and a war, as serious as it is, does not change a 2 or 3 year thesis about where global money movement is headed. In fact, and this is the part that you should really consider, a war that breaks traditional payment infrastructure actually makes the case for XRP stronger, not weaker. Think about it. Right now, banks in South Korea, Japan, and India are scrambling to settle energy trades as traditional rails get slow and expensive. The old system is under pressure at the exact same moment when speed and efficiency matter the most. And XRP exists precisely to solve that problem. The on chain data proves it. While the price has been dropping, actual usage of the XRP ledger has been going up. Settlement activity has also been increasing, and the network is being used more while everyone is panicking about the price. That is not what a failing asset looks like. That is what infrastructure under load looks like. So let me give you an analogy that might make it click for you. Okay. Imagine that you own a toll road and it's the busiest toll road in the region. And one day there's a massive storm. So the traffic starts to back up and the news covers it and people are complaining. And then somebody calls you and says, do you want to sell your stake in the toll road? Because it looks bad on the news right now. And so I know you assume that you would say no because you understand what you own. You understand the infrastructure, and the storm, the chaos is actually proving why the infrastructure matters. The price of your stake may dip in the short term because sentiment is bad, but the road is still there. It's still being used. It's still essential. That is XRP right now for the people who understand it. And the people buying 1.25 billion worth of it while you're scared. They are the ones who understand the toll road. Now, I want to say something really quickly because this directly connects to something that I want you to think about. Now, we're talking about holding XRP through a full cycle, or if you want to just make it basic, long term. It could be 2, 3, 5, 10, or more years. And if you're doing that on an exchange, you're building a tax problem right alongside your investment. So here's the thing most people don't realize until it's too late. You can hold your XRP or any crypto that you own for 2 years. It goes up significantly and then you sell, and then you find out exactly how much of that gain you owe in taxes. And that is a gut punch to a lot of people. Trust me. If you ever have made a lot of money and have had capital gains, you know what I'm saying. You can think that you're doing everything right with the investment, but if you don't plan around taxes, I can just let you know that you're not doing everything right. Now, you can hold your XRP inside of a Roth IRA through I Trust Capital. And I'm telling you now that one decision can change the entire equation, because inside of a Roth IRA, your gains grow tax-free, not tax deferred, tax-free. If XRP or any other crypto that you believe in does what you believe it can over the next so many years, then you won't have to hand over a significant chunk of those gains back. Now, what I love about iTrust specifically, it's not just crypto. You can also hold gold and silver in the same account. So the exact positioning that I always talk about, where you can hold digital assets and real assets together, you can execute this inside of one account with iTrust Capital. And it's simple, it's clean, it's tax efficient if you get the Roth IRA. And there is $100 bonus when you fund through my link. The link is in the description right now. So if you're serious about holding your crypto for the long term and you do not have a tax strategy, I'm telling you, this is one of the most important things you can do today. Not when the price runs, but I'm talking about today while it's low and your cost basis is favorable. Now, let me share something incredibly important to you. Okay. So we've established that the institutions are buying 1.25 billion while retail is scared. And we understand why, which is they're playing a different game with a different time horizon. And we also understand that the war is actually proving the XRP thesis, not breaking it. So here's the only question that matters for you right now. And that is, which game are you playing? Because the answer to that is going to change everything about what you should do next. If you bought XRP as a trade, meaning you had a specific price target and a specific exit strategy, then the conversation is about your exit. Was your thesis a short-term price move? If yes, and it has not moved the way you expected, that is a trade management conversation, not a hold forever conversation. But if you bought XRP because you believe it has a real role in how value moves globally over the next several years and even decades, then what you are experiencing right now is something different. You're experiencing the part of the cycle that shakes people out before the move happens. And this is a part that separates the people who build wealth from the people who almost did. And I want to give you a practical framework of how to think about this. First, know your thesis in one sentence, not a price target. I'm talking about the actual reason why you believe in XRP. If you cannot say it in one sentence right now, that is the work, because you cannot hold conviction through volatility if you do not know what you are convicted about. Number two, check your position size. One of the main reasons people make emotional decisions in down markets is not because they are weak, it's because they are overexposed. If your XRP position is so large that every price move disrupts your sleep and your thinking, that is a sizing problem. So it may be time for you to resize so that you can think clearly. A smaller position that you can hold with conviction is worth more than a large position that you will panic over and sell at the bottom. And then third, separate noise from thesis and validation. A war is noise. A price drop is noise. What would actually invalidate the XRP thesis? Regulation permanently killing it, institutions walking away, the technology failing. None of those things has happened. Everything else is noise, and noise is not a reason to exit a position you build with research. Now, I'll say something from my personal experience. I've held gold and silver for quite some time, and that was well before all-time highs. I hold XRP because I understand the payment rail thesis. And in both cases, the conviction comes first and the confirmation comes later. And that is always how it works with positioning. You have to understand it before it is obvious, because by the time it's obvious, the price has already moved. Now, I want you to drop in the comments if you do have an XRP thesis, not a price target. What is the actual reason that you believe in it? Can you write it for me? I would love to see this in one sentence, and I'll read through the comments. I would love to see how you guys are thinking about this. Now, if you watch this and you realize, look, I don't really have a one sentence thesis. I don't know what I own or why I own it. I own it maybe because somebody else said it. And I realize I've been making decisions based on price and headlines, and that's not a judgment, but that's just information. And that's exactly what I work through with people is when you come to that self-awareness and you have information, you use information as transformation, right? So having clarity about what you own, why you own it, and how you hold it through moments that are designed to shake you out, that is the work. And it is work that's worth doing before the run and not after. And so I do want to mention that these are things that we work through in my community, or you can book for a one-on-one clarity call. The link is in the description. My calendar is open for that. And so if you're ready to build that kind of conviction, I'll help you process through it and build some clarity, and we will build out a plan together. And I think it's time for you to start thinking about this if you have not been thinking about it. Again, you have some people who understand what they hold and they can hold through the volatility. But let me tell you something. While the war was on the news, that money did not move on accident. It moved because the people behind it understand something about this moment that most people do not. And the question is whether you're going to be the person who looks back on this period and says, I understood it, or the person who looks back and says, I was right, but I let fear talk me out of it. All right. Now, again, the I Trust Capital link is in the description if you're holding XRP long-term without a tax strategy. And also there is a Tangent cold wallet link there for anybody who's serious about self-custody. If you think this video helped you to think differently about anything, please share it. Send it to someone in your circle who is confused right now about the market or who's watching their portfolio and does not know what to do. You might be the person that gives them the clarity that they need. Please go ahead and like the video if it added value. Subscribe if you have not already. This is a conversation that we're going to continue to have. And as always, I want you to stay wise, stay wealthy, and I'll see you in the next video.